Hi guys, it's Chris here from Jerry's Fishing. I'm going to give you a video today on the in-depth analysis and guide in buying a Century Tip Tornado Graphex rod. So just to give you the background on what we're going to talk about today, these rods are quite revolutionary when they came out about 3 or 4 years ago, and they still sit at the sort of pinnacle of technology and design of any rod on the market. I get asked time and time again, one, why, how, and what difference is it going to make to my fishing going with one of these rods. And two, obviously, which rod in the range is best for me, the Marks, the Sport, the Ultra Lite, etc. So this guide is what I'm going to put together today and hopefully help you if you're interested in buying one of these, or you're just simply interested in sort of different technologies in rods, because it is interesting. There's a lot more goes into rods than just a bit of carbon here, stuck it together, does it make a nice rod? Essentially go to a lot of detail to make sure their rods are the best in the UK marketplace. So where do we start? So this one I've got here is the Sport. So this is the Tip Tornado Graphex Sport. So as all Century rods, they're all made North East England, and this Graphex range of rods was based on probably the most popular, most successful range of rods Century have produced, which was the original Tip Tornado series. This range of rods had originally 6 rods in it, going from some light stuff right up to rock rods, and they were designed with, as the name suggests, good tip registration for the designed area. It loaded well, wasn't too heavy, wasn't too thick in diameter, and these are just fabulously designed fishing rods. So over the years, technology improves, and Century had been testing for a few years a new material called graphene. And how do we put graphene into fishing rods? Graphene was slowly revolutionising different places, from F1 cars to components in computers, and it's quite an incredible material. I won't go into too much detail on it, but graphene is the strongest material we can build within fishing rods. It's very conductible. It has so many benefits to the modern world that I don't need to go into. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, go on YouTube and put a search in for graphene, and somebody far brainier than me will talk you through the technicalities of it. What I can talk to you is why it's good in fishing rods and how they've done it. So graphene in a fishing rod, to put it into perspective, is makes the rods lighter, more responsive. It makes them with a faster recovery we're going to go through. But what I want to talk to you first is how they've got it into the rod. So the rod itself is still predominantly made out of high quality carbons that you get through the whole Century range, whether it's fire blades, whether it's compressors. The same materials are in there. What they've done is injected the graphene material in the resins which glue the carbons together in place. So a lot of people don't really pay too much attention to resins, but when you talk to the people that design and make high-end rods, a lot of the time you hear the thing, a quality resin is actually more important than having the next step up in carbon. So we all talk about 20, 30, 40, and even 50 ton carbons in rods. And the higher the tonnage, the more pure it is. So the stiffer it is, the more pure it is, but it can have negative effects. But having a resin, and a high quality resin that can transfer that energy through the rod, like I said, is arguably more important to performance. So what they do with this is they take small amounts of graphene and they put it into the nanoplatelets in the rod, and that basically fuses all the carbons together. From that, it produces something quite incredible, and I do think that certainly one of these rods in here is probably the best all-around rod I've ever fished with. So what does it give you? So let's start with weight. We see generally, if you pick this rod up and compare it to a similar quality of rod, whether it's Century, Ziplex or one of the top end rod brands on the market, you'll probably see a weight reduction of around sort of 10 to 15%. That's not reducing power, durability or anything, just a pure weight reduction, and that's purely from using these special resins with the graphene in. But the big one for me is the sensitivity. So I mentioned very briefly before that the graphene material is a really good conductor, and that's why it conducts electricity but also conducts energy very well. And that energy transfer through the rod, through the resins and through the graphene means that it's more sensitive for bite registration. It's more sensitive to a feel through the rod. And until you use one of these, you won't quite understand. But your timing is so much better. So when you're through that cast, you know where the weight is as you're coming round to cast. You know exactly where that weight is all the time. If your timing's right, it can put 20 yards on your cast. If your timing's in there regularly, it's amazing. When you talk to the tournament casters, you look at their technique of casting, their timing's much better than mine is. It always will be. And you talk to them, that timing is so critical. This rod allows you to step up that timing quality of your cast. So, in essence, it will help you cast further. And on the other side of that as well, when you're playing bigger fish, you can feel what they're doing, you can feel if the head's shaking, you can feel where the fish is going to be, and you can control that as well, which is incredibly important, especially with the amount of shark species we're now all trying to catch from around the UK, whether it's smooth downs, whether it's taupe, common skate. It's really important to try and know as much as you can about what the fish is doing. Obviously it's hard at times because they could be 100 yards out or 50 feet down. But this technology in these rods is giving you all of that. So I hope I've bored you enough with the technology of why this is as special as I think it is. And I'm going to move on to the differences in what you should look at between the ranges. So there is 5 different rods in the range, and I'm just going to talk you through what's best for hopefully your fishing situations. So we're going to start here with the Tip Tornado Sport. This is the stiffest rod of the range. So this is designed as your mixed to rough ground fishing rod. But unlike a lot of rods, the tip on this, as the name suggests and the design process taken from the older rods, is it's still got very good bite registration. And when I say very good bite registration, it hasn't got a really soft glass tip and a really stiff butt section. It's the two together, so you're getting that stiffness of rod you need to fish for mixed and rough ground. But the tip is still a little bit softer. So if you get something that slacklines you, or you've just got something mouthing your bait, with some conger sat in the rocks mouthing your bait, you'll be able to see it. There are some really stiff rods on the market which they're almost, the bite registration was non-existent. They're a fabulous casting still, or pulling fish out of kelp beds, and you know, there's rods there on the market which are great for that situation. This isn't one. This is more of a refined mixed to rough ground fishing tool. We'll throw it to 8 ounce all day. And like the rest of the rods, the whole range is the same. So you'll get the quality guides there, the titanium ATC guides, braid friendly, and the standard ringing situations you can have either a fixed spool or multiply ready to go. We can build rods up dedicated to fixed spool if you wanted. Most of the time, you know, these rings, they're going to be more than adequate for anything. Lovely grips either side of the spigot, metal banding on the side, on the tops. Lovely shrink tube, and the adjustable reel seat with the foam grips. That's standard pretty much on every single Century rod on the market. So as we move down the range, the next model in the range down from this is the Super Match. And the Super Match is what I have said for the last 2 years is the best fishing rod, all-round fishing rod I've ever used that's on the market, and I'll still back that today. If you're wanting something that you can go anywhere in the country, it'll catch smooth downs, it's strong enough to catch taupe. We've got quite a few customers that have put taupe on them. But it's soft enough in the tip to, you know, if you're fishing for place, you're going to still see the place bites, still going to enjoy your fishing. You're not got something that's too stiff to enjoy them smaller species. That's the Super Match. It's classed 4 to 7 ounce. with Century's rated as a 7 ounce, it means it will cast 7 ounce properly, but it will also cast the lighter rods, lighter weights. Moving down from there, we have the match rod, and the Tip Tornado Graphex match rod, which is here, is an absolute beauty of a rod to use. This is your sort of your clean ground weapon. So if you're wanting to fish over clean ground, place fishing, dabs, essentially a match rod, as the name suggests, this is the one to have a look at. Finished in a lovely sort of brown colour there. I'd really recommend any match angler that's wanting to get distance, responsiveness in the rod, and unbelievable bite registration to really consider these rods. Rated 4 to 6 ounce, and again, it will do 6 ounce with a proper cast. It keep you going all day. They are absolutely stunning, and although the Super Match, I'd say, is the best all-rounder, if bite registration at distance is a big tick box for you, Graphex Tip Tornado Match is definitely worth a thought. So as we move down from there, you have two other rods. You have the Super Match LD, which the original Tip Tornado Super Match LD was one of my favourite rods of all time. It gives you the chance to use a beach rod for your clean ground fishing. I used to use it a lot for my low water work because most of the time I was using 4 and 5 ounce weights, and it did everything I wanted with that, but it would throw a 6 ounce. What Century have done is they made the Graphex version. So it's lighter, it's more responsive, the bite registration's there, but the key fundamentals of the rod, of the design process, are there. So this thing is low diameter, and as you can see there, with the match there, put that against the Sport in sort of diameter wise, and you can see the difference, there's a notable difference in diameter. So I love this for like my fun rod for smooth down fishing at low water. I've caught rays on it. It doesn't have the backbone to sit in bigger tides. It doesn't have the backbone to put a 6 ounce weight on it, a big crab bait, and wallop it to the horizon with a pendulum cast. But it's not designed for that. If that's your market, you know, we've got other rods in the range here that's going to do that for you. This is your low water, your fun rod that will catch the majority of species around the country. Give great bite registration. It's super lightweight, low diameter. It's easy to transport. It's easy to carry half an hour walk down to a low water mark. So this is the Super Match LD. The final rod in the range, unfortunately I don't have it in stock, we sold the last 2 yesterday, is the Ultralight ST. And the Ultralight ST is like a step up from a bass rod, but it's not a beach rod. So if you're wanting a rod that's premium, that's got fantastic bite registration for your estuary fishing, for your bass fishing in the surf, but you also want to cross it over to do a little bit more with it. It will throw a 5 ounce weight pretty well, and it'll cover all that mid section of fishing where you've got your bass rod that's throwing 2, 3, maybe 4 ounce of weight, which is good fun. But a lot of the time these days they're lacking a little bit, whether you want to have some fun catching a smooth hand on them or a big bass on it, or you just want something that you can keep in your hand and you can rove about on the rocks or on the beach and having a wander down, having a look for pockets of fish moving. That Ultralight ST is a rod to really consider. It's quite a specialist tool, but if you use it for what it's designed for, in that midsection between a bass rod and a beach rod, you will really have some fun. This is quite a steady seller for us, and the guys that buy it, they know what they're getting, and they love fishing with it. So that's your range. I'm sure you've got extra questions. That's what we're here for. Jerry's here. We pride ourselves on giving honest advice on any sort of tackle you want. So you can visit the website on jerrysfishing.com if you want to buy one. You can pop into our store, open 7 days a week. And any questions, get in contact. You can drop us a message below, give us a call. We're open 7 days a week. Yeah, thanks for your time. Cheers, guys.